stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Running for it, here's Peterson. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And now loose football. Fumble. Martin lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They run again with Peterson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. A lot of times, as AP goes, so goes the team. He's done well, the team's done well.
And usually when he does that well, other people do in addition, because now you can open up other things in your offense. But the bottom line is, he is option number 1, and that's usually their best option. Just absolutely can brutalize a defense.
To throw, Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 5. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run for it with Peterson. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Laquan Treadwell from a yard out. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now the Buccaneers offense gets set to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Sherrills to return it. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And out now come the Vikings. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting. And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball, because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
Bridgewater to throw it. And that's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They come out here in the eye. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front. The linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it. Peterson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Power, strength, athleticism. Those are 3 of the reasons you give the ball to Adrian Peterson on 4th down, because this guy just has a knack for moving the chains, and he's able to do it again right there.
A toss play. This is Peterson. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They run it with McKinnon. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Here's Bridgewater. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the first-rounder, Vernon Hargreaves. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
first down throw for Winston. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A first-time Pro Bowler a year ago, Everson Griffin, in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. One receiver to the left is Evans.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss. So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it down.
And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Sherrills. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Again, Peterson. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Bridgewater here to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 23 yards on the play.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Fresh set of downs here. Bridgewater gives to his tailback, Peterson. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They pitch it out to Peterson. Stiff-armed him. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. All right, Charles, so you win the game. Not only do you get the W in the left hand.